Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this happens to arrive in your reality of now. I had made some shifts on my schedule. My daughter gets weekly counseling appointments from an incredible therapist and helps us focus on what she's working towards and the goals she wishes to see in her reality that encourage positive growth. So anyhow, I happened to arrive early today, and when I walk into the office to sign my daughter out, I see her right at the counter. And I look over at her, and she looks over at me, and turns out that the principal had called her in because he needed some information. I had called probably 3 weeks ago. She goes to a uniform school, and there's a jacket that belonged to her father, and the jacket doesn't meet dress code. So she was told to take it off, and she wanted to keep touching it. So she'd hold his jacket and then try and hide it when the teachers came in, and she couldn't wear it, and it was emotionally distressing for her. So I spoke to the principal. One of the times when I picked up my daughter, I physically walked over there, saw the principal, and said, "Hi, I'm so-and-so's mom," and yada, 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 and this blah, 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 and asked if he could make an exception for this uniform rule. And so this item brings her comfort. And he said that he would, and he sent out an email about it, but what I wanted was a note in her pocket, so that way, as she was caught on dress code and different people would tell her to hide her jacket or take her jacket off, that she could have a note saying, no, it's okay. The issue with not everyone knowing it's okay, because we were already told it was okay, and not everybody knew it was okay, and her being chastised for it kept her feeling like she was doing something wrong, and that bothered me, because something that helps increase her strength, helps her feel closer to her father, and has a sentimental personal reason, harming no one else, she should be allowed to have. And everyone agrees, but nobody could put it in a format where she could say, it's okay, here's the note. So anyhow, I got to meet with her principal and speak to him. And then when we were leaving, there was, I don't know what his position would be. He works at 3 different schools, but he helps with the attendance records, and he needed to get a hold of me for that. So as we're walking out, he sees me, and I get her attendance handled. I got the jacket issue handled, and we laughed the whole way to the therapist. It was so beautiful. Like, arriving early really worked out well. And having 3 different issues handled, and then we got back in the car exactly at 2:22. So it was that feeling of reinforcement and love from universal energies. I also had an opportunity to speak to the school about the things that have helped my daughter and reinforce, thank you for doing this, thank you for providing that, thank you for yada, yada, yada. Their care and the way that they have handled her. Last year she had a lot of medical appointments and missed quite a bit of school. This year, thankfully, she hasn't had to miss as much, but she did just miss a large chunk due to having her fever most of last week. Getting everybody communicating on the same page, and the laughter the whole way down to seeing her therapist. How excited I watched her get out of the car and run to the therapist. And you know when kids are happy and they have a bounce to their step? I watched her run that way. And that puts such peace and ease to me as the mom. So, we already did a light language focusing on peace. want to send out light language, the synchronicities, the way that she was already called down to the office before I arrived, so picking her up was super simple and easy and fast. The way the principal was there and the truancy officer, whatever his position role in the school district is, but all the people that had the ability to answer and address her needs, they're there and there. And I walked out with all the paperwork that I needed to sign and send back to help her grade average go up, and had the ability to tell everyone, those that have helped, thank you. And the birds are loud. So, universal synchronicities and alignments. I think everyone has connection to source energy. Everybody can rely on universal energy. Having the awareness of that strengthens that internal power within yourself, and also helps you learn to dial it in a way that's personal to you, like your own fingerprint, just yours, just you. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. Universal signature. Individual for the collective. Universal signature, a card for that. I'm enjoying the sounds of the birds. Well, then two came, fell between the side of the seat. Oh. So what we have is third chakra. I believe that was in this morning's video, but the energy of the solar plexus chakra helps us to realize who we are and who we want to be so that we can set a course towards our goals. How's that for good navigation? And with that, transformation. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Bottom of the deck. Okay, I will definitely be focusing on yellows. Top of the deck, originality. That also, okay. I had shuffled the cards. I have a habit before I carry my cards in this little pouch. And before I put them in a pouch, I always shuffle them. And then as I get them out, I usually shuffle them. And then as I'm speaking to you, I often shuffle. So it's funny to have so many of the ones that I was working with earlier come out. So, individual signature, becoming awareness to our conscious, universal alignments. I'm focusing on the sound of the birds too. Deep breath in and a slow release out. Yatusha satarayata kuska maniata satakuya sasha suyatera kuya maniati resusha maniata riata kurmaniata riasasha satarayata kunamaniata niasusha sukutaraya sa troporata riasasha sumaniata riasatara kunoneteri satarayasha sumanayata kuya sasha suya maniata riasatukushka maniata riasatadaya. Bright yellow light. Kuyasa shuyataria sakun maniasa shusuyate de satukuishka maniataria kunana sasha sataya. And disperse. I felt good. Oftentimes, when I am doing my energy work, I can physically feel it in my vessel. It's usually warm, soft. This, it was like a very dense, warm heat right above the belly button. Okay, random card for the light language. Second chakra. The sacral chakra helps us navigate our lives through our emotions and supports our ability to enjoy the sensual world. Who you are is precious, and your ability to always feel connection with your ancestors and the fun of working with universal energies. That, I'd love to see that spread throughout the world more rampant. Take care. Be well.